In today's video, we're going to be predicting the outcome of every match currently announced for WWE Bash in Berlin 2024. I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win, what I think of the feud so far, and where the feud can go from here. I gotta say, this looks like a pretty decent little card considering they had like 3.5 weeks to build this after SummerSlam. And don't forget, this starts way earlier if you live in North America. Just check when it starts. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I know you're going to fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. All right, let's jump into the predictions. Let's start things off by talking about the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match between the champions Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union, taking on Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I have to say, this has been a very weird month for the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions because they've been all over the place feuding with various different teams from various different brands, so they've been workhorses for the last month. But it has created a bit of confusion and a bit of fragmented storytelling in this feud that we have going into Bash in Berlin because their minds and their focus hasn't just been on Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. They've been feuding with the likes of Metaphor down in NXT for the Great American Bash. Then they've been having a feud with Damage Control and the Pure Fusion Collective, all while also balancing this feud every Friday night on SmackDown against Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, which has also included Blair Davenport and Naomi. So they've been all over the place. But it was clear to me basically from the beginning that this was their end goal, to go up against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair because they're by far the biggest names in the division and it's not even close. Frankly, they're the only names in the women's division that could warrant these tag team championships being on a premium live event. You want to argue otherwise, go ahead, but I really think that if it wasn't for Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, we don't see these titles on a PLE. I do think that we are about to turn the corner with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can start to see Triple H's vision starting to form, and Triple H's vision, in my opinion, doesn't fully fledge out. It doesn't fully form if Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair win here. I guess it's really a question of what do they want to prioritize? Do they want to prioritize the building of the women's tag team division? If that's the case, then putting the championships on Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill is a good idea because they are the biggest names. They will bring the most attention and spotlight to this entire division. But if their focus, which I think this is it, is to set up Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill, then I don't think that they should win here. In fact, I feel like this needs to be the match that sets up the first seedling to their feud that could eventually boil into WrestleMania. Again, it's really important to have Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill in the women's tag team division because of how much of a spotlight they bring, but they are, in my opinion, being wasted here. They are so much bigger than the entirety of the women's tag team division. These are two main event caliber players that at some point need to go their separate ways, and I think that we start to build towards that with a loss here at Bash in Berlin. So I am going to be taking the Unholy Union here, not winning clean because they've been getting absolutely destroyed on SmackDown. Anytime that they're in the ring anywhere near close to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, I think they win with underhanded tactics. Maybe Blair Davenport gets involved, but I really think that this match is going to end because of miscommunication between either all three involved or just Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. Here is my wild prediction, okay? I think that somehow, some way, Naomi tries to get involved to even out the odds against the team of the Blair Witch Project, which is of course the Unholy Union and Blair Davenport, and in her involvement, she's going to cost Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair the match. So it's not going to be Jade Cargill turning on Bianca Belair. I think because Naomi costs them the match, Jade Cargill is going to attack Naomi. So again, still giving us time to stretch out the inevitable implosion of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. But I think that that could be a really great first shot fired. Because of course it means that Bianca Belair is going to step in. What are you doing? Get your mind right. How can you attack her friend Naomi? While Jade Cargill is going to feel justified because she felt like Naomi cost them the match. That's going to be my prediction of how it goes. But yeah, once again, Unholy Union, I think, walks out as the champions in some capacity. Today's video is sponsored by the amazing folks over at Factor. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for nutritional success. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door with over 35 meals to choose from per week from different options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, and even more. When things get hectic, Factor is flexible. Change your order up every single week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause them or reschedule the deliveries altogether. That part is really handy for me because I've been traveling a lot recently, so being able to pause those deliveries and starting them back up when I'm back is beautiful. Personally, Factor helps me cut down on grocery trips and cooking overall so that there's more time for me to do my favorite outdoor activities like walking my little wiener dog, Dwayne the Dog Johnson, going to the gym, or making time to upload all of these daily videos that I do for you. So head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code SantiZap50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month's of orders. Again, folks, that's code SantiZap50 at factor75.com and get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month's orders. This is a service that I've been personally using for years prior to being even sponsored by them. So this one legitimately comes with a Santi vouch. That's it. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to it. Look at that. It's been a while since we've had a mixed tag match on a PLE. We have the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, taking on the Judgment Day, Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. For this match, I am taking Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. I think that they need to get their pound of flesh back after both losing gloriously at SummerSlam because of people that were involved in this. Well, not so much Damian Priest, he lost because of Finn Balor, but I'm sure Finn Balor is going to, in some way or shape or form, going to get himself involved in this match. I just don't think that the WWE is going to give a 2 PLE cycle losing streak to two of their biggest, most blossoming superstars at the moment on Monday Night Raw, being Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. I think they're going to get their pound of flesh back so that they can continue to build this feud, continue to build towards Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, continue to build between Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, continue to build for Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, continue to build for what I think is going to be the blow-off, Rhea Ripley versus Dominic Mysterio. I am expecting the very rare intergender violence in this. I do believe that somehow Dominic and Rhea Ripley are gonna come to a head. They're going to attack each other. Doesn't happen very often in WWE mixed tag matches, but I think that this feud actually warrants it. I want to see Rhea Ripley hit that riptide. No, I don't think Damian Priest is gonna be hitting the south of heaven on Liv Morgan, but I do think that Rhea Ripley is going to attack Dominic Mysterio in this. I do expect the involvement of the Judgment Day, but as we've seen on Monday Night Raw, even all of those numbers that the Judgment Day has, more often than not, is still not enough to take out the Terror Twins because they've been absolutely decimating the Judgment Day. But the Terror Twins need to win here so that we can continue to escalate this feud to wherever it is that it's going. It could be a new Judgment Day versus old Judgment Day War Games, who the hell knows, but this needs to be the Terror Twins that win here. So lock it in. Terror Twins are winning this. Now let's look at the WWE Undisputed Championship match between the champion Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. And what I ask of this WWE Premium Live event is that, for the love of God, this not be the main event. Not because I don't think that Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens can main event a PLE, but I don't think they should be main eventing a PLE when there's two arguably much bigger matches on the card. But it is Cody Rhodes, and the WWE has given Cody Rhodes every single closing match at a PLE this year, except Clash at the Castle, but like even closing out Money in the Bank in a 6-man tag match. So that's my big ask. Just don't let this close the show. It just doesn't have the story legs that the other matches on this card have, in my opinion. I do think that this is going to be a great match. I think that the crowd is going to be hot. I think that we could see something on the levels of AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes in terms of quality and in terms of how hot the crowd is in Berlin. I think the big question is, do we get the Kevin Owens heel turn in this match? And I'm going to say no. And I'm going to say no because I've realized that when the fans want something, Triple H doesn't give it to the fans until very far down the line. And we're still so early on in this feud between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. That's not even a feud. And that to me is just such a major plot point that I don't think that they're going to use it this quickly in their feud. I think the end goal of this match is to have the reawakening of the prize fighter Kevin Owens. I want Kevin Owens to struggle with the thought of doing those horrible moves like for example, the power bomb on the side of the apron on Cody Rhodes. I want him to struggle with that decision because he knows that those moves could help him win, but those are moves that he wouldn't do to people that he likes. I want to see that internal struggle for Kevin Owens throughout this match. And I want it to be that he loses loses because he doesn't tap into that, which will then lead us to him eventually needing to dip into that, whether it's Bad Blood, Survivor Series, whatever it might be, to actually become a genuine threat to Cody Rhodes. As it stands, I don't think he's a threat to Cody Rhodes whatsoever. Cody Rhodes just has so many bigger fish to fry down the line, but I do believe that with a good feud, they could make us believers like they did with AJ Styles after he turned heel going into Clash of the Castle. But it's not going to happen here. Kevin is not turning heel at Bash in Berlin. Cody Rhodes is retaining, and Kevin Owens is internally going to be pissed, and down the line will turn heel and allow the prize fighter to fully come out. Now let's talk about CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a strap match. And I have some concerns with this match, mostly that this is like the gimmicky strap match, the one where they aren't just strapped to one another, but the one where you have to win by hitting all four corners. And I don't typically like this style of a strap match because sometimes it ends in really hokey, gimmicky ways with people falling into the corners and whatnot. The reason I don't like this style of strap match for this particular match is because this feud is a blood feud. This is a bad blood feud, which means that these guys want to kill each other. They want to beat each other down so bad where the other person gives up, they can't stand up. They want to win via pinfalls. They want to win with technical knockouts, with actual knockouts, with submissions. So winning in like a game show way, tapping the four corners, seems really out of place for a feud like this. Again, just my opinion, and that's the way that I'm observing things, but I just feel like this is almost too playful of a match stipulation for these two. But I'm sure it is going to be violent. It is a strap match. I do foresee color in this. I believe that this is the match on this PLE that will give us blood. And I think that giving us blood is going to be symbolic of where this feud needs to go, which is bad blood, most likely and inevitably in a Hell in a Cell match. And I hate to be the guy that plays the like, hey, wins and losses, but if we want that Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood to make sense, then CM Punk needs to win here. He has to go 1-1 against Drew McIntyre in total to make that rubber match make sense. Because if Drew McIntyre works here, sorry to tell you, but the feud is over. By the way, I am wearing one of those like friendship bracelets. My girlfriend made me one with my dog's name, Dwayne. And you know, now that CM Punk wears these and he's the Taylor Swift for men, I figured it'd be okay for me to wear this. But yeah, I have to go with logic here. Logic dictates that we're going to go 1-1 tied into the rubber match at Bad Blood. So I am taking CM Punk here. But I want to see violence. I want to see great storytelling. Do I foresee Seth Rollins getting involved? Maybe, but I don't think so because I think he's going to be selling the 7 tsunamis that he ate the other week. I know a lot of people always question, do we see AJ Lee here? I feel like if we see AJ Lee, it'll be for the rubber match at Bad Blood. I don't think that we see her in the strap match. Personally, this is the feud that I'm the most invested in. I am really excited for Randy versus Gunther as a quality match, but as a feud, as a story, this is the one that I'm glued to the screen for. This is the one that I live for. This, to me, is the selling feature of Bash in Berlin. I don't think that it main events this time around, but if it is Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, this for sure will close the show for Bad Blood. I'm confident in that. And if it doesn't, that's insane. So folks, I think this is one where you can remortgage everything that you own and put it all on CM Punk winning this one. And last but not least, we have the rematch of the King of the Ring final between the champion Gunther taking on Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Crowd is going to be crazy for this one. I don't think that Randy's walking into hostile territory like the commentators have said. I do think that the crowd is going to love Gunther, but Randy Orton is in his like old man Wolverine, everyone loves you phase. Everyone is also going to be rooting for Randy Orton. The crowd is going to be electric, not divided. I think that they're just going to be ecstatic from beginning to end with this match. Gunther's going to get his huge ovation. They're going to sing Randy Orton's theme. The atmosphere for this, I do believe, is going to feel like Real Madrid versus Man City or something like that. That's right. I see Europeans. You like your little football references, don't you? Or maybe you're German and you wanted me to say this is like Bayern Munich versus Dortmund. That's right. I know the Bundesliga. Every German's like, oh, he knows the Bundesliga. All right, focus. Gunther is winning this match. I don't think that Gunther is going to be losing his championship after 1 month of having it, considering they've been touting how he's been a champion for 75% of the time that he spent on the main roster, which is insane. I don't think that he's going to go from a historic Intercontinental Championship reign where he not only elevated the championship, but elevated himself to this stage to be a next world heavyweight champion, to losing it in 1 month. Look, he is not a transitional champion. If Damian Priest wasn't a transitional champion, Gunther sure as shit is not. If they make him a transitional champion, look, I think that the championship wouldn't necessarily take a hit, considering it would be going to Randy Orton, a guy that is a historic individual in the world of professional wrestling. What would be taking a hit here if Gunther were to lose would be Gunther, and 2, the King of the Ring. And I really think that they want to protect the King of the Ring, considering it's going to be such a major story point and such a major part of the build-up to the road to SummerSlam. And remember, SummerSlam going to 2 nights, King of the Ring is going to be more important than it's ever been moving forward. If it's half of the match that we got at King of the Ring, where it felt like just 2 geniuses, 2 supercomputers trying to outcode each other, we would be lucky. I know that this match is going to be amazing. I believe that this is going to be the best technical match of the night. I think the crowd is going to be amazing, and I think that Gunther is going to retain, likely clean. And I think clean is important because that's what's hanging around Gunther's head right now. The fact that he didn't beat Randy clean at the King of the Ring because there was that referee mistake. I think that they need to completely do away with that wrong, completely do away with the monkey on the back that Gunther has, that he didn't beat Randy clean. Gunther is winning here, and I think that he's going to put away Randy Orton clean, and honestly handily. He's probably gonna hit him with like 10 finishers. All right, folks, that's it for today's video. Let me know down below in the comments who you think is gonna be winning the matches at Bash in Berlin. Let me know if you think my analysis was completely off, and come back to this video after Bash in Berlin and you can tell me if I was wildly right or wildly wrong. But that's it, folks. Okay, bye, get out of here.